Tony Kronos disappeared 1 year ago this week. He was last seen on March 6th of 2025 in the 1600 block of Eleanor Street in Eagle River.
Now, family members who went to his house to check on him said that they found the back door kicked in and Kronos' cell phone and wallet still inside. Here's a look back at what happened.
We've driven by. My parents have been there. They said it wasn't particularly disturbed, but the back door had been kicked in. So that was concerning enough for us to take this seriously enough to call the police.
What happened inside this home? We haven't been told what clues were found here last year when Tony Kronos disappeared March the 6th.
So you haven't received any tips that you know of?
Zero.
Zero?
Zero tips.
Why do you think that is?
Whoever did this did a good job, would be my guess.
Many of his friends think Kronos was murdered and blame the police officer who lives behind Kronos. Tensions escalated to the point the Anchorage police officer, Chris Sternhagen, told a judge in August that Mobley and friends have been harassing him for months.
Threats of physical violence, sexual assault, prison rape, what have you, that he has already used. He then got on a campaign where he had his friends start harassing my business.
We're all just in the dark wondering what happened to Tony.
A year later, that question still hasn't been answered. More information on our website. And this afternoon, Anchorage police said that the officer involved in this is still an employee at the department and that the investigation is ongoing.
All right, Rebecca, thanks so much for your reporting on that. Meanwhile, a 32-year-old Anchorage man has been sentenced to a combined 88 years in prison for murder and attempted murder. The charges come from two separate shootings the state says Deshaun Street was involved in between September 28th and 29th of 2018. One shooting happened near a food truck and sent a man to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the second shooting happened at Mountain View apartment complex. Street reportedly shot and killed a man during a discussion on a balcony porch. Police arrested Street a few days after that, after he allegedly rammed his car into several police vehicles.
Well, many students in the Mat-Su had to find other ways to get to school this morning.
That's right. Teamsters Local 959 says school buses there are out of service through the foreseeable future while drivers are on strike. The organization is calling it an unfair labor practice strike, which they say comes after negotiations with Durham School Services, and that started last June. And just to put things in perspective a little bit, here's a picture sent to us by viewer Elizabeth Fitzgibbon. This shows the number of buses, Rebecca, not used to transport kids today. We've got our Joe Allgood at today's protest to get more details on the strike.
We've had a number of days even since coming back to school in January where we've had drivers ready to go in the morning and we haven't had enough buses to go out and do the work. We've got a number of proposals that would raise the standards to match district contract standards, and the company is fighting us on those as well. And frankly, we need the community and especially the school board to stand up and demand vigorous contract enforcement.
Alaska's news source attempted to get in contact with Durham School Services over the weekend, but we have not yet heard back. We've got some more information about the union negotiations on our website.
And now to weather, where meteorologist Melissa Fry says that winter has an ending, but low temps haven't gotten the memo just yet.
Yes. It's still very, very cold out there, Melissa.
Yeah, regardless of what the calendar says, it is cold out there, but we are slowly already starting to warm up, and more of a warming trend is on the way. It also means snow is back in the forecast. Pretty chilly out there right now, though. 22 below in Fairbanks, 11 in Anchorage. You can see that sun still high in the sky as folks are hitting the slopes tonight up the hilltop. 8 degrees in Palmer, 16 in Juneau with some light snow coming down, and a lot more snow is on the way. Winter storm warnings and advisories are already in place. This is a new storm after we just saw record-setting snow over the weekend. So it was a short break today, but it was going to be necessary to plow and to shovel again tomorrow with that heavy snow likely from Juneau west toward Hoonah. Here's what you need to know. From Glacier Bay to Juneau tomorrow morning through noon on Wednesday, you should be prepared for 8 to 14 inches of snow along along with wind gusts of 40 miles per hour. Now, for the north and west, it won't be quite as much. Winter weather advisories, though, in effect Tuesday, 4 to 8 inches of snow. And for Sitka and Petersburg, it is likely that we will see some rain mixing in as temperatures warm. You can see it is 43 right now in Ketchikan with that rain coming down. 22 below in Fairbanks. We've got sub-zero temperatures to the slope out to the west coast. That cold air plays still the main concern, while snow is the main concern in southeast. But once we get later in the week, snow makes a comeback for South Central after nearly 2 weeks without it. Also, some warmer air moves in, and all the details on that extended forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks for tracking all that for us, Melissa. And let's head down to the Capitol, where we're asking, did the lieutenant governor violate the law? That's the question some lawmakers also asking during a hearing today after she released voter rolls to the federal government last year.
Now, the answer, of course, split along party lines. Republicans claimed the hearing was biased against the lieutenant governor, and majority lawmakers said Republicans were being too partisan. Lawmakers in the bipartisan majority raised legal concerns after Lieutenant Governor Nancy Dahlstrom released voter roll information to the DOJ in December. Now, that release included information like addresses, the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and driver's license information.
Republicans say the government already has that information, and the pursuit to clean the voter rolls is a good one. But those in the majority say the way the federal government did this violated state law, the state constitution, and the U.S. Constitution. Leaving the meeting, it seems little compromise was met.
I think the meeting was unnecessary. I think we're speculating on what the intent of the DOJ is, and I believe we need to wait and see.
I think that I went above and beyond to try to include everybody. You know what? I said it earlier. I said it at the beginning. If people are saying that if the Obama administration had asked for the unredacted voter rolls from Alaska, that all these Republicans around here would have just been like, oh, take it all. Take all of our information. That is not true. That is absolutely not true.
And Representative Gray said that they had invited Lieutenant Governor to testify multiple times. He said that their offices had scheduling issues. And in December, a statement from Dahlstrom said that the decision was legally protected Alaskans' data and promoted transparency, and recently reiterated that position as a candidate for governor, calling other characterizations, quote, fear-mongering.
Lots to follow on this. And for more on what lawmakers said and the timeline of committee documents that the committee documents lay out, you can check out our website and mobile app. Needed improvement or Puppy Palace, a replacement animal shelter for the Fairbanks North Star Borough, continues to gain traction as some community members argue it's a waste of money.
Now, in February, the Borough Assembly voted 7-2 to make the project's $33 million budget available this year. The borough put out a bidding opportunity for construction on Friday. Millions of dollars have already been spent scoping, designing, and buying land for that new building. Now, it's along the old Richardson Highway near South Cushman Street. Supporters say the new shelter, of course, is necessary for the borough and will be better for animals' health. Opponents say the price tag just too high. Some people are calling the planned facility an unnecessary puppy palace.
To make a priority of $33 million going into an animal shelter when we have other buildings that are empty and, from my understanding, could have possibly been utilized, it really is not a proper way of us using taxpayers' money.
That is not a luxury. That is not an extra bonus or gold-plated toilets or expensive hammers. Those are the things you need to keep an animal healthy and a shelter running in a way that this community has come to want.
The bidding period ends on April 7th. Between $27 and $28 million are budgeted for the construction.
National Invasive Species Awareness Week just finished at the end of February. Good, of course, reminder for people in Anchorage that some plants will be illegal to sell or give away later on this year.
Starting on May 31st, 20 plants, including bird cherry, mayday trees, choke cherry, and some knotweed varieties are going to be off limits. And this comes from an ordinance passed by the Anchorage Assembly back in December. An invasive plants instructor at UAF says the invasive plants can grow and cause problems for other plants. We talked with an invasive plants instructor at UAF.
They have kind of a competitive advantage over other things, can really shift the way our ecosystems and forests work, and then that can impact resources that we care about.
It's worth noting some of the invasive plants may have made their way here by car or even on your boots or shoes. If you have any of them on your property, you're urged to keep them in check or get rid of them. It's also recommended to clean your shoes before going to different areas.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.